Welcome to Intelligence Gateway. Module 4, Scrum Events. Scrum Events, Sprint, Sprint Planning, Daily Scrum, Sprint Review, Sprint Retrospective. Scrum is an Agile framework that emphasizes the importance of time-boxed events to facilitate team collaboration, transparency, and continuous improvement. There are 5 Scrum events that are essential to the framework. Sprint. The sprint is a time-boxed period of 1 to 4 weeks during which the development team works to deliver a potentially releasable product increment. The goal of each sprint is to deliver a valuable and working product increment that meets the definition of done. Sprint Planning. The Sprint Planning event is a time-boxed meeting that occurs at the beginning of each sprint. During the meeting, the development team works with the product owner to select the product backlog items that they will work on during the sprint. The team also creates a sprint goal that serves as a unifying objective for the sprint. Daily Scrum. The Daily Scrum is a time-boxed meeting that occurs every day during the sprint. During the meeting, the development team members share their progress, discuss any obstacles or impediments they are facing, and plan their work for the next 24 hours. The Daily Scrum helps the team stay aligned and focused on their sprint goal. Sprint Review. The Sprint Review is a time-boxed meeting that occurs at the end of each sprint. During the meeting, the development team demonstrates the working product increment to the product owner and stakeholders, who provide feedback and suggest changes or improvements. The team also reviews the progress made towards their sprint goal and updates the product backlog accordingly. Sprint Retrospective. The Sprint Retrospective is a time-boxed meeting that occurs after the sprint review and before the next sprint planning. During the meeting, the development team reflects on the previous sprint and identifies what went well, what didn't go well, and what they can improve in the next sprint. The team then creates a plan to implement the improvements in the upcoming sprint. These 5 Scrum events provide a framework for the development team to work collaboratively, focus on delivering value, and continuously improve their processes and practices. Planning and executing sprints. Planning and executing sprints is a critical part of the Scrum framework. Here are the key steps involved in planning and executing sprints. 1. Sprint Planning. The first step is to hold a sprint planning meeting where the development team, product owner, and Scrum Master discuss the product backlog and agree on the items that will be included in the upcoming sprint. The team then creates a sprint goal and develops a plan to complete the selected items. 2. Daily Scrum. During the sprint, the team holds daily Scrum meetings where they discuss progress and identify any roadblocks or issues. The Daily Scrum helps to keep the team aligned and focused on achieving their sprint goal. 3. Sprint Backlog. The sprint backlog is a prioritized list of items that the development team has committed to delivering during the sprint. The team breaks down each item into smaller tasks and estimates the effort required to complete them. 4. Execution. The development team works on completing the items in the sprint backlog during the sprint. They use Agile methodologies and principles to complete tasks and collaborate effectively. 5. Sprint Review. At the end of the sprint, the team holds a sprint review meeting where they demonstrate the working product increment to the product owner and stakeholders. The team collects feedback and uses it to improve the product backlog. 6. Sprint Retrospective. The team then holds a sprint retrospective meeting to reflect on the sprint and identify areas for improvement. They develop a plan to address the identified areas in the upcoming sprint. 7. Repeat. The team repeats the process, planning the next sprint and executing it in the same manner as the previous one. In summary, planning and executing sprints involves selecting items from the product backlog, creating a sprint goal, breaking down items into smaller tasks, working on them, and collecting feedback from stakeholders. It is an iterative process that helps the development team to deliver high-quality products incrementally while continuously improving their processes. Managing Sprint Backlog. Managing the sprint backlog is an essential responsibility of the development team in Scrum. Here are some steps for managing the sprint backlog effectively. 1. Selecting items. During the sprint planning meeting, the development team works with the product owner to select items from the product backlog that will be included in the upcoming sprint. The development team should consider the capacity of the team, the complexity of the items, and the priority set by the product owner. 2. Defining tasks. The selected product backlog items should be further broken down into smaller, manageable tasks. The development team should discuss how they will complete each item and create a plan of action. The team should estimate the effort required to complete each task and ensure that it meets the definition of done. 3. Prioritizing tasks. Once the tasks have been defined, the development team should prioritize them based on the sprint goal, the priority set by the product owner, and the dependencies between tasks. The team should work on high-priority tasks first and ensure that the critical path is being followed. 4. Daily stand-up meetings. During the sprint, the development team should hold daily stand-up meetings to discuss progress and identify any issues or roadblocks. The team should discuss completed tasks, tasks in progress, and tasks that need to be started. They should also update the remaining time estimate for each task. 5. Monitoring progress. The development team should monitor progress throughout the sprint and ensure that they are on track to meet the sprint goal. They should also keep an eye on the remaining work and make adjustments as necessary to ensure that all tasks are completed within the sprint. 6. Sprint review. At the end of the sprint, the development team should present the completed tasks to the product owner during the sprint review. The team should also collect feedback from stakeholders and make necessary adjustments to the product backlog. 7. Sprint retrospective. Finally, the development team should hold a sprint retrospective meeting to reflect on the sprint and identify areas for improvement. The team should make necessary adjustments to their processes and practices to ensure continuous improvement. In summary, managing the sprint backlog involves selecting items from the product backlog, defining tasks, prioritizing tasks, monitoring progress, and making necessary adjustments throughout the sprint. Effective management of the sprint backlog is essential for the development team to meet the sprint goal and deliver a high-quality product increment. Facilitating sprint events. Facilitating sprint events is a critical role of the Scrum Master. Here are some key steps for facilitating sprint events effectively. 1. Sprint planning. During the sprint planning meeting, the Scrum Master should ensure that the product owner and development team have a clear understanding of the sprint goal and the product backlog items that will be included in the sprint. The Scrum Master should encourage open communication and collaboration to ensure that the team is aligned and has a shared understanding of what needs to be accomplished. 2. Daily Scrum. During the daily Scrum, the Scrum Master should ensure that the development team is focused on the sprint goal and that the meeting stays within the time box. The Scrum Master should encourage the team to discuss progress, identify any issues, and collaborate to find solutions. 3. Sprint review. During the sprint review, the Scrum Master should facilitate the demonstration of the completed work to the product owner and stakeholders. The Scrum Master should ensure that the team receives feedback and that the feedback is incorporated into the product backlog for future sprints. 4. Sprint retrospective. During the sprint retrospective, the Scrum Master should facilitate the team's reflection on the sprint and encourage them to identify areas for improvement. The Scrum Master should ensure that the team develops actionable items to improve their processes and practices. 5. Managing time boxes. The Scrum Master should ensure that all sprint events stay within their allocated time boxes. The Scrum Master should enforce the time box and encourage the team to use the time effectively to achieve the sprint goal. 6. Facilitating collaboration. The Scrum Master should encourage collaboration between the product owner and development team to ensure that the product backlog is refined and prioritized effectively. The Scrum Master should also facilitate collaboration between team members to ensure that tasks are completed efficiently and effectively. 7. Removing obstacles. The Scrum Master should remove any obstacles that are preventing the team from achieving the sprint goal. The Scrum Master should work with the team to identify solutions to any impediments and ensure that they are resolved quickly. In summary, facilitating sprint events involves ensuring that the team is aligned, focused on the sprint goal, and collaborating effectively. The Scrum Master should enforce time boxes, encourage open communication and collaboration, remove obstacles, and ensure that feedback is incorporated into the product backlog. The Scrum Master plays a critical role in ensuring that the Scrum framework is implemented effectively and that the team can deliver high-quality products incrementally.